there! Bob from Oregon's Constant Gardener. Welcome to the OCG Fam Show to you, my YouTube buddies. What's going on? Let me know in the comments down there and we'll talk about it after the show. But right now, let's just get into the show. Parts per million. PPM. How much stuff you're putting in, how much stuff you're taking out, the measuring of the salts in your grow, the nutrients in your grow. We've talked a lot about this, but it's still, there's some people that are newer to this, or some people that have some confusion about it, or people that have questions about it. When we're talking about parts per million, we're talking about the soil slurry, doing a slurry in the soil. Whereas when you look at some synthetics and some things like that, some different type ways of growing, they're talking about in the mixture or possibly even in the runoff. And this is not just a procedural difference between using nectar over other lines, but a fundamental difference that makes for growing, we think, a more quality product, a more quality produce. So I think it's an important topic to discuss. I'd like you to watch the clip about it, and I'll talk to you after.
Hi, Hawker. Bob, hope your day is going well. As a new grower, I'm a bit confused on PPM. What is the recommended PPM for my feed tea flush solution? I see Nectar for the Gods recommending 300 to 500, but the PPMs for the soil slurry test, or is this the number of PPMs? I'm just gonna. This is good. We're getting these questions. These are people that are new. I mean, this is common information.
The downfall is he's coming to us fourth.
Yeah.
So every other feeding company out there is like, you want to feed your veg at 750 parts per million, then you want to be at 900 in flower, and then 1200 mid flower. And it's like, we don't play that.
It's not that. So you're not ever measuring your PPMs in your mix, except under some odd circumstances.
Or to reference, so you know that this genetic is hungrier than this genetic, or these are doing this, or I like to document so I know if I'm putting 1200 in all the time, and my slurries are coming back at 300 every time, they're loving what I'm giving them.
Yeah.
But if I'm giving them 1200 and all of a sudden this goes 3, 5, 700 in my slurry test, then something's gone on here, so now I'm going to fix going on here and then readjust my feeding. But there is zero recommendations from this company, this line, and these growers that are going to say, here's the PPM schedule of feeding your plants, because your environment, your heat, your lighting, your CO2, every bit of what's in your grow room and your neighbor's grow room and my grow room will not equate to, let's make a PPM feeding schedule.
This is like when you get in your car, you don't measure how fast you're going by how hard you push the gas pedal. You measure it by the speedometer.
Yeah.
And so you can't tell what's going on from how much you're putting in. You need to see how much it's using.
Take a square body Chevy, a Vet, a Tundra, and a brand new Lexus, and then press the gas the exact same angle and see who's gone.
Yeah, they're all going to be different.
So you really, I get the want and need, but really if you follow the feeding schedules that come either with the kit or the sample box or one of the Greek, Roman, Spartan, and then run and vary off of that, either less or more depending on how your plants look. But I think the biggest lesson with growing plants for yourself, for your medicine, for whatever reason, is you're in there paying attention to the plant. So if you're watching the plant, you notice that I fed them this on Monday, and I come back in on Wednesday, and they're doing this, or they're doing this, or you can kind of document that when I gave them this, they looked super happy. When I gave them this, they looked super angry.
And you get in time, you get a feel where you walk through the garden, you're like, oh shit, something's going on, or everybody's happy. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And that doesn't come from measuring the PPMs of your
not of the
feed
feed
mixture.
Now your pH
or
of
your
feed
runoff.
is far more. No, runoff will never tell you anything other than panic.
Yeah.
Oh, we have 1,700 parts per million. Yeah, well, they're not getting 1,800. That's what they didn't want. So it's more about just watching the plants and sticking closer to the feeding schedules. I even say less than the feeding schedules for the most part, for most growers. Try to get up to the feeding schedule level, but a lot of people stick 20% less than that even, just to make sure that they're not going off the rails. Once you start accelerating, if you don't know how to handle it, I mean, it's like a Formula One.
Yeah.
You can coast off of the pit row doing 25 in speed limit, but as soon as you give it the gas, you're not ready to handle it. That's just spinning out and hitting the wall. So same with this. If you're like feeding, okay, now I'm going to push them.
Yeah.
Well, hold on. You better start feeding them heavy.
Okay, what do you think of that? Informative, entertaining, helpful? Agree, disagree? Comments, thoughts, questions? Throw them in the comments and we'll talk about it. I love you. I'll see you tomorrow. The OCG Fam Show. It's pretty good. It happens every day. It's the OCG Fam Show. See you tomorrow.